feel like there's a dot of light on my chin. What the fuck? What is happening? As long as you see it, right? You see it too, right? Okay, anyways. Things are getting trippy. Greetings, everyone. Friends, wolvies, whatever the fuck you want to be called today. So I'm doing a video for Skam, because two people, the two friends I have were like wanting me to do one, and a couple questions arose, and I was like, why don't I just answer them via the video? Why not? I said I would do them more, and I lied, so I might as well do a fucking video. So here I am. And I've got a lot to say, so I don't know how this is going to turn out. I think this might actually just be a mess because I'm hyper crazy emotional about Skam. And I'm also probably going to butcher a lot of their names because even though I know it's Isak and was it Evan, I'm so used to reading subtitles and looking at that shit that I'm probably going to refer to them as Isaac and Evan in the most American shitty way. And I'm sorry for butchering your beautiful language. I'm just like used to reading it in my tone and, you know, style. So I'm sorry. Bear with me. Teach me though. Make me better. Anyways, so yeah, I don't know where to start. A couple people have asked several questions and I'm like, give me a day to answer this. A day, a pot of coffee, and a blanket to bury my face in when it gets to be too much to talk about. Because, whoa, girl. Whoa. I'm fucking mesmerized by this show. Holy shit. Like, it started off so curious. Like, I'd seen people blogging about it, and I was like, no, I'm not a TV person. I'm not going down that road. I know I'm very obsessive by nature. Kelsey, and I was like, I'm not going to do this again. I'm not going to go crazy and spend all my money and time on a fucking TV show. Like, no, I'm 30 years old now, essentially, and I got shit to do, so I'm not going to do this, blah, 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 blah. But then, like, I kept seeing more and more coverage on it via Tumblr, and I'm just like, well, I don't know, like, maybe. And so, like, I liked the links, you know, so they were in my likes, and then one day I was, like, sleep deprived, miserable, really anxious, fucking tweaking. I was twerking in my head, which isn't that wrong. And I was like laying there with a blanket. I'm like, I can't sleep. I can't nap. I can't do anything. I'm like a purple haze. And so I'm like, I definitely can't focus on reading. So I guess I'll try to watch something. But I wanted to focus, right? Like I was so hyped up. I needed to focus on something. So I'm like, I'll try this new show. Lo and behold, here we are now, god damn it. It was like, well, it's kind of like, I watched like 10 minutes of it. I forget which episode it was, but it was season 3. And I watched just 10 minutes to be like, oh, if I like it. And then I got a phone call and whatever. Plans built from there. But then later that night, I had plans with my two besties. And we were like, hey, you want to hang out, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, we could just like have some wine and watch this Norwegian TV show. And they're like, excuse me, what are you saying? And I'm like, I know, like, I just like caught a glimpse of it. I'm curious. Let's check it out. I've seen it all online, blah, blah, blah. And so we came over and we were actually just going to put it on and talk shit about it and like be assholes. But then like first episode, we start watching. We're like, what's going on? This is like whatever, lame. 5 minutes in, we're just like, oh no. Oh my God, he didn't. Like we were gone. We watched the whole thing up till like 4 or 5 a.m. I haven't been the same since. And it's just, I think the reason it's so addicting is because obviously the characters are fucking phenomenal. I love character development. I love characters. I really like to explore them. Like, plot is good, plot is awesome, but for me, if you have really well-rounded characters, really developed people, humans, that shit, it's like you can give me a plotless whatever the fuck with these strong humans that have great backstories and shit, and it's like, I'm invested. Like, that gets me. And I think Isaac and Evan are both really incredibly strong characters that have incredible journeys they're going on. Really just... oh, it's just awesome. The use of metaphor and symbolism and all that bullshit that is like my English nerd. My years of training are just like so hard. Their dicks are so hard, those thoughts. It's just like, I don't know, I could just fangirl this show all day and night. I think it's incredible. Really well written. It doesn't play into stereotypes or flashiness or just like, you know, because like a lot of, especially youthful TV shows and things like that, they're very like really into like just driving it home for like shock factor or just like in your face. But Skam is like so quietly real and deep. You know what I mean? Like, it's not your typical TV show. It's not like a soap opera, ridiculous. It's not like Gossip Girl. Like, I love Gossip Girl, yeah. But like, it's not anything like that. It is quality. It's just so like relatable, and their use of silence is so powerful. Just like the way that it's designed, where we keep up with their text and social media, how it integrates the audience like that and plays in real time. I think that's really awesome. Like, I never even thought of the media being able to kind of transform into that in the entertainment industry. You know, I never really thought of that, but that's awesome that they're having this like universal knitted fictional storyline going on, and we just feel so attached to them. And that's what makes a successful story or art piece or whatever. It's your personal attachment to it, and everyone can develop such a strong knit bond with this show now because we're just getting to intimately know these characters. And holy God, it's just like, it doesn't give you too much information though. That's what's so fucking awesome about it, is that it doesn't just give everything to you right away. Like, even though we're in Isaac's season and we are following him word for word, there's still kind of a lot we don't know about him. You know, there's still things that we kind of have to like read his facial expressions and figure out. It's not all just, boom, this is what Isaac's thinking. Boom, this is how he's responding. You know, we kind of have to surmise it on our own. And I think that's incredible that we have such awesome tools to use to form our own conclusions and interpretations. I think it's awesome that the show is encouraging that discourse and just the way to use your brain in a narrative setting. I'm like very passionate about the show. I think it's brilliant. I think it's super brilliant, especially like, I don't think it has an age group. Like I said, I'm ancient years old and I'm still just so invested. Like, I'm not in high school anymore. Hell no, I'm not even in college anymore. And yeah, I'm still like, just hooked from watching these humans interact with each other in such a beautiful way. So it's incredible. I will not stop being obsessed with this show. I don't think it's pretty serious, but I think it's going to be heartbreaking when season 3 is over, because I and many others are so attached to Isaac and Evan. Their storyline is so beautiful. The characters are so strong. Like, season 1 was probably my other favorite one. I loved watching Ava grow. She really did. You know, she just turned into like a powerful, independent lady having fun, where she started off kind of meek and awkward and lonely. And I thought that was super cool to watch her transformation and just watch from nothing a whole world grow in the TV show. I thought that was awesome. Second season wasn't great. I'll be real. William, it was like talking to a wet sponge. Oh my God, I couldn't stand William. Nerd. But like, Evan is my favorite character, you know, and I think it's awesome that they brought in this new guy, and it's just the way they let things unfold. It's just, you fall in love with him. You fall in love with him through Isaac's eyes, and especially now with everything coming to light, you look back and you watch it again and you're like, oh, maybe this will change. No, if anything, it's made me love him more to see those moments where you see his facade slip or you just see depth to him. It's just like, I don't know, I just think the way they really displayed these people is phenomenal. The actors themselves are phenomenal, and their ages are very young, and it's just like, damn, take all my money, take it all. What do you want? My home? My home is yours. Step through the door, enter, live with me. I don't know, I'm really passionate. So like, yeah, that's why I love the show. This was supposed to be an entry or introduction, and it's been 10 minutes of an introduction, so I'm failing at this video already. But yeah, so that's why I think it's incredible. As far as Isaac and Evan's relationship, the reason I think that's so incredible is because for the most part in narratives, any kind of fictional love story, whatever, even real life love stories, you're kind of sometimes wonder like, what is there between you two? Like, why? I don't know. You just don't always see the chemistry. You don't always see the bond. You're not always emotionally invested in something because they don't give you enough to be invested in, sort of. It's just like, oh yeah, two like radio friendly people that would get along with pretty much anyone are just together. and they're attracted to each other. Cool. You know, like, you usually don't have like, wow, they really work together, and wow, I can totally see why they spar well with each other and they just balance each other, blah, blah, blah. Like, you know, that's not often that you can really see two people click together. And I think they perfectly click together. And just the way it unfolded was really tasteful and sweet and beautiful. Just like so simple and pure, but also so intense. Like, you got Isaac just kind of coming to terms with his sexuality, realizing it really fully, not being so scared, I guess, to venture down that path. And it is brought to life because of Evan, really. He's, I think, the catalyst to all of that. But the way that he meets Evan is just so sweet and youthful. He sees him and he thinks he's handsome, and Evan presumably thinks exactly the same of him. And they're just always kind of orbiting around. And when they speak, there's just such like a playful banter. And you see Isaac being like very bro and cool and silly and whatever with his pals. With girls, you see him really laddie and smooth and in control and like, yeah, whatever, you know. And then with Evan, you see him being very shy, very closed off, very scared. He's like very meek. It's really interesting. Like, you can tell he's struggling. You can tell he's really interested, you know. It's just like such a different side to him. And Evan approaches him in a way that's like really awesome, because he's always trying to make him laugh. Like, that's the way he's approaching Isaac. He's always trying to crack that surface and make him smile, or make him just like open up, relax a little. And so he makes jokes always, like when they first meet outside of the Vilda's review group or whatever, and he's like saying how they were all in the dark, and then if you touched a dick, you had to suck it. And it's just like the way Evan just has that weird, like, kind of awkward but abrupt humor. And Isaac is always like shocked and then laughs. And it's just like, it's a really good, Evan was really good at kind of cracking through Isaac's fronts. And he's also just like sweetly persistent, not like annoyingly, like he's just so unabashedly forward in a way. He doesn't chase him in any means, but I definitely think he sweetly pursues him. And it's just, you watch it unfold, like when he forgets his ID and they're hanging out at his house, and it's just like this whole afternoon of just like these two kids laughing and getting to know each other in the most real, sweet way, comparing music and making stupid jokes and cooking together and flirting, but not flirting, but flirting. And just like, you see Isaac relax for the first time, like truly. In comparison to when he first saw Evan on the bus and he's all like, oh my God. You can like see the blood drain from his face. He's like, oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God, that's him, you know? And then he's in the house with him and they're just stoned and laughing and playful and bantering amazingly well, making each other laugh. One of my favorite scenes is when Evan's looking out the window and he has that quiet moment. It's like in between their laughter, where Isaac is kind of having a peaceful moment where he's like looking at Evan like, I'm smitten. And Evan is looking out the window with like this sad, dark, troubled face. And I love that. I love all the scenes where we see beneath Evan's walls, we crack through his surface, because he is another smooth criminal. He appears so collected and smooth and awesome and just like whatever. You know, devil may care attitude and smooth and hot and whatever. And it's like those moments where there's like, his mask kind of drops and you see like something more vulnerable in him, are the scenes that I'm like, you're a great actor. Like, you're fucking amazing. And then the character itself, you're just like, I love you. I want to make food for you. I want to get an ice water for you. Like, you just love them. And I think that's powerful. It's really artistically, beautifully done. So like that is probably one of my favorite episodes, when they first hang out and you see them fall into each other, just fall into each other so effortlessly. They forget about the time. And then Evan, I think he doesn't really know fully Isaac's feelings about him. You know, I think he's kind of like trying to suss him out, because he is hard to read. Isaac is very stoic around Evan. He's so shy and like doesn't meet his eye, you know? And I think that's definitely hard to interpret, especially when you're going on this route of like, hey, are you into me? Like, that's kind of, you know, that's difficult to gauge sometimes. So it's really interesting, because it ends with the girlfriend thing and you're like, what? But Evan's probably like, he kind of unsure. And for me, I think, like, the moment the whole thing changes between their relationship is, like, once Evan knows that Isaac is interested in him is when they have the pregame, and he catches Isaac staring at him while he's kissing Sonia, and, like, they're watching each other make out with other people. Like, that's when you know it's on. Like, you can't misinterpret that. You don't look up at your pal and be like, I love that you're kissing that person. You're doing such a good job. Fist bump. Like, no, that's pretty gay. You're pretty hot for each other. And I think it's beautiful because it's such an honest moment. Stripped down, eyes locked, I'm into you moment. Oh, my emotions. I'm getting overwhelmed. I'm getting so overwhelmed. Because it's just like after that, he goes in for it. He goes in for the kill. He's like, oh. And I think it just kind of awakens his own realizations as well because he was jealous of Emma. And he also realizes now how Isaac feels officially. And he just goes for it. And he's like, oh, when he's cornering him in the kitchen, the romance. And, like, Isaac's trying to play it cool, and he's all like, whatever, shaking out these beer cans, NBD. And then all of a sudden, Evan's like, yeah, well, hey, aluminum legs. Because once again, he, like, got really serious about his whole, I can't dump her, and we've been together this long, and we're growing apart, blah, 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 like, trying to talk to him, connect with him. But Isaac won't look him in the eye. He's like, his body language is turned off. He's just like, whatever, I don't care. And so, like, Evan once again cracks through the surface with humor and makes Isaac laugh and gets him comfortable again. And then he goes in for it, and he's all, like, so sweet as he comes in for the kiss. Be still, my beating heart. I'm, like, the coldest bitch in the world, but when it comes to this show, I'm like, he softly tried to kiss him, my heart. It's just, like, I don't know, there's something that makes you feel so much more human. It's fucking fabulous. But yeah, it's just like, it's an incredible, incredible, incredible show. And I think everyone should fucking watch it. And it's just like watching these people fall in love with each other is a privilege, dare I say. And so yeah, it's, I think they're incredibly good to each other and good for each other, which is why I think we're all just like, you gotta fix it. And I want to know how you're gonna fix it. Because I know you gotta fix it, but like, how are you gonna do it? How's this gonna go down? Because Evan, I think, is anchored by Isaac in many ways. And I think that's awesome because he doesn't rely on Isaac for his mental stability, at least not that I've seen. I think that he is encouraged by him, and I think Isaac makes him feel grounded in a way because he has these troubled thoughts, and sometimes he has these expressions and faces, and then he looks down at Isaac and looks at Isaac, they lock eyes, whatever, and it's like his expression calms, the storm kind of quiets. And I think that's maybe how he feels. Because it's like he was looking Evan in the eye that night in the hotel. Or Isaac. Remember? Whatever. You know what I'm saying? They were looking each other in the eye and laying there. And Evan was just like lost. And he was grounded by him. But then Isaac fell asleep. And it was like Evan kind of untethered a little bit. And then he started, whoo. It's like when he interacts with Isaac. I think that is like, it helps him. And then he has his episodes. Because you can't really escape that. But it's like, it just gives you comfort because I think, I don't know, I have so much to say. It's just like the words are spilling over each other. But my thing is that I think it's wonderful that they're dealing with this topic of mental illness. I think that's really important and awesome. And the way they're doing it is so, it's much needed. It's very nice. It's not like, from Isaac's eyes, it is like, oh, this terrible thing is happening. But then from Agnes's perspective, and when you look at Evan, it's also like, it's fine. Like, it's something that happens, but you deal with it, and he's a person, and it's fine. And he can still be a fully loving, normal individual, and it's gonna be fine. It doesn't have to be a huge thing. It's not the end of the world. He's still Evan, And that is such a beautiful thing that, yeah, sometimes it gets hard, but then they're normal. And I don't know, it's such a simple realization or statement, I guess. Like, obviously that's the truth, but it's hard to find a simple, pure take on mental illness, especially in the media. It's always usually accompanied by such darkness, such heaviness, such despair and hopelessness. And this, if they prevail, which they fucking better, Skam, they fucking better prevail. If Isaac and Evan prevail, it just further solidifies that it's just a part of life and it's no big deal. You can still be just as happy. It's no big deal. And I think that's awesome. It's just like so taken in stride, a part of life, and it's so commonplace. I don't know. It just makes me warm and beautiful, inspired, and like, oh, emotional. Because it gives you food for thought. You know what I mean? Like, well, for me, it did. Because, well, whatever. Not to wax personal. It just was something interesting, though, that, like, I think we all have our anger about that kind of stuff. You know, like, why? Why is this a thing? But then when you see it displayed in that kind of light of hope and love and stuff, it just makes you, like, it gives you a kind of refreshed perspective of, I don't know, good stuff. Good shit. That's some good shit. So, what just happened? I love it. I love Skam. I love the characters. I could go on about Evan specifically for 20 more minutes, but it's weirdly long now. I've talked for a very long time. I'm not sure if I've even said anything logical. I've just been like, I love this show and this is why. But, yeah, I don't know. I guess I didn't answer any questions. But this is what I got. If you have anything you're like, Claire, for some reason I want to hear you talk about this, let me know. Clearly I like to hear my own voice. I have no friends. There's no one in my life that will listen to me about this. Please talk to me. Please ask me about Skam. Let's hang out. You want to hang out? We should. Anyways, this has become like a sad downward spiral. It got weird. Okay, so anyways, yeah. I'm going to go do productive things and stop drinking coffee so I'm not so fucking crazy. And then I'm going to keep looking for some Skam updates. If it's not a happy ending tomorrow, let me fucking tell you. The last video I do on this goddamn computer is going to be me smashing this goddamn computer. I need their joy. They are too strong, too good for each other. Evan made Isaac bloom. And Isaac is making Evan trust himself more. What is this? Oh God, no, it's just a random text. But yeah, so Skam, Evan. All right, done now. I'm done. I'll talk to you guys soon. Hopefully next time we speak, it'll be like super like, wasn't that great? Ooh. All right, love y'all. Bye.